So welcome back to the show. Prior to the break, we was having a conversation with Myke Rabar as to how exactly he's juggling between being a CEO and being an entrepreneur and all that. But right now, I want to just to get into your story. You're a DJ, and I know a lot of parents right now, to any young person who wants to pursue that as a business. And I'm very because it's just a hobby. How exactly was it for you? How was the reception of your parents?
But like any parent, those days, they were obviously very anxious about you being out there. And there's this notion about when you go into clubs at night, there are all sorts of evils that happen in the clubs, which is a fact anyway, you know. So they were rightfully concerned, but I think I wasn't there for all the right reasons. I was very passionate about entertaining, you know. And like I said, my satisfaction comes from seeing people enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
So I was very focused. In fact, I was very focused at a very young age, which was very strange. I think that's what helped me get past all the vices that you find. Imagine a 16-year-old being in a club at night every day of the week. You know, there's all sorts of risks out there, temptations. But I think I was strong enough and very focused. So I think, of course, they're always against it, saying, you've got to sit there and finish your high school, do your university, and you can do what you want after university. But I was very adamant about it. I was a very stubborn child, actually. But I think I was also doing pretty well in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this so that I was not slacking on my grades. I was top of class, so I say. And like I said, everything I did well. So to an extent, they kind of eased off a bit and gave me the leeway. They watched how to interact with going out, coming back early in the morning, very sober. You know, excited about how I managed to rock a crowd, you know, stuff like that. To a point that they got to support me now by helping me even acquire some equipment, opening for me the house in the morning before they locked me out. Now they began to.
Interesting. So take me through the process. So you used to DJ and whatever, go for events and all. At what point did you now start making it a business?
Yeah, I think again, for me, the business thing happened just by accident, right?
Yeah.
In that, because I was really good at what I did, and I was also very good at selling myself. I'd go out there and look for work relentlessly. I was very tenacious at that age, and I would never take no for an answer.
Yeah.
So I got to get a lot of work coming in at the same time. So I'd get bookings on a Saturday in 4 different locations. In those days, we had things like weddings and parties, all right? So I'd get bookings, and I realized, you know what, I can't keep turning down these bookings. Let me get somebody who can assist me. So I got a few guys from the estate, gave them some discs, recorded some cassettes, got equipment from somebody else. I'd hire equipment, hire transport, and then get them to locations and make sure they got back and make sure they did a good job for the clients.
All right, and when you're looking back 20 years later, you've managed to scale to more than 12 companies within the group. How did you manage to scale up? Because it's one thing starting out a business, but it's another thing scaling it and ensuring that it remains relevant for so many years. How have you managed to scale the businesses to the level that you're playing right now?
I think the very basic instincts that I built when I was starting my business probably 20 years ago is what I use now, because I was forced to become responsible very, very early, you know? When you've been tasked with delivering a certain service to different people, and it's not just anybody, it's very influential people, it's weddings that are very sensitive, with brides that are very particular about what they want, you end up being very meticulous in your planning, all right?
Yeah.
So I knew how to book transport, how to book DJs, how to book the right equipment, how to test it before it went on site. I'd go for site meetings and plan how I'm going to do the work, how to do the cabling, what was required in each of the sites. So I became very good at planning at a very, very early age. And then I knew how to negotiate with the pickup guy to give me credit, you know, so I'll pay him the next week, negotiate with the guys in Buruburu to give me equipment so I can hire and then pay them when I get paid. You know, and that time you're very, very young. Then you're also learning to manage people because you've got DJs who are working for you, so you've got to make sure that they're disciplined, they're there on time. And I think with all those basic principles, that's what makes a business, you know? I was doing my books, you know, I wasn't paying taxes yet, but I was collecting money and paying suppliers and paying the DJs and saving and paying, buying more equipment. So I was very, very organized. And I think that's how business should be run at whatever stage of your life or your career. So it's the same principles I'm using now, even for the under 20. It's all about planning, looking at what could go wrong, working over scenarios over and over again, mitigating against if this happens, what if. So I think that's what really helped me. That kind of discipline has helped me get to where I am right now.
Share there's some of the failures you've experienced on the way, and what exactly do you learn from them?
Yeah, I think not everything has been rosy, and also when you start delegating tasks, it gets difficult. You're not in control of how the things that your partners are doing. So one challenge that has been and will always continue to be a headache is getting people who got the same kind of drive, principles, and are very keen on and diligent on quality. So when you do that kind of thing, you subtract people that always tend to let you down. You have the clients who are upset that you sent this person, they didn't deliver what we wanted, they came late, So the level of importance or urgency that you handle initiatives with, somebody might not. So I think that's where you do find that a lot of things do go wrong, especially when you're not in full control. And so you find that even as a business now, we still have our hands on almost everything that's going on, just to make sure we have full control. And you find that also, again, for us, we easily have grown outside the borders of Kenya, but we just realized, you know what, this business is so intricate, you can't delegate that role to somebody who doesn't have the same kind of ethos.
And capital is being literally one of the challenges that most entrepreneurs are facing. How did you go about accessing capital? Because it's not cheap.
I think let me just say I was very lucky that the kind of line I took wasn't very capital heavy, So I can actually start the business with zero capital. All I do is go hire equipment for somebody who's got the same equipment, what's the equipment I did actually, do the event, and then take it back and pay him and keep my small bit, I need to hire transport. I'd hire a pickup from the shopping center. He picks me up, takes me to where I'm supposed to be, and drops me back in the morning. So the biggest tool I had was negotiating for credit initially. All right, and that's why my negotiating skills really had to be very street smart. So we're lucky enough that this kind of business we're in, if you're patient and you're willing to make small margins, the outlay won't be as huge as any other business. I think by the time I was getting to Radio, we had been able to create a good reputation. So getting credit became quite easy, and that's the challenge. How do you build a strong enough background for people to trust you to give you credit? And credit is not even from banks, It's 80% from suppliers, because the banks look at our business and realize it's entertainment, it's not a business, They still haven't accepted this business, So it's more about going to suppliers saying, listen, just give me this gadget, I'll pay you in 3 months, And because you've built a strong history, and there's again, a lot of it is trust-driven, reputation. That helps you grow very, very fast, because everyone will do a background check and you realize, you know what, this guy sticks to his word, and he's very keen and serious about whatever he undertakes. So that also helped me quite a bit to get the credit.
Interesting.
I don't think we've ever gone to a bank per se.
Yeah.
But like I said, the banks don't understand what we do, sadly.
Interesting. And as we wind up, what are some of the lessons that you personally have have learned from being at the helm of success?
I think the first thing is, how do you define success?
You've achieved your goals. You have tons of companies that are running successfully and profitably. And I'm looking at it in terms of business. So here you are, seated as a CEO. There are quite a number of things that you can look at you and say, wow, Myke has done quite well.
No, success is relative. Let me put it that way.
What's success to you then?
For me, success is happiness.
Interesting.
And happiness comes in different ways. When I listen to a good mix, I'm happy.
Wow.
So I think you just have to define what success means to you personally. It means different things to different people. Let me just put it that way. All right. So some people it's monetary. Some people it's huge assets, it's material. But for some people it's more just about doing what you enjoy doing and living off it. You can just make ends meet. All right. And so for us, I always keep telling guys, well, I enjoy every bit of what I do. I'm loving working for the under 20 events, I can't even sleep. I keep thinking about how do you improve this, how do you add that, for me, that's success.
That's quite different.
Yeah. Well, I guess as the age you get wiser.
I see that. The white hair does not lie. And just finally, for any entrepreneur watching this, what are the final wise words you can say to them?
I think one, you have to be true to your environment, all right? There's a lot of things shoved at you about dealing with your passion, and your passion drives is what's going to get you there. But it's not necessarily the truth, you know? You have to understand the environment you're in. What is it lacking? Can I fulfill that need? All right?
Thank you so much for the wise words. And I think you've changed I think you've changed the definition of success to so many people. Success equals happiness. Thanks so much, Myke, and I highly appreciate it. And all the best in the AA Championship. I can't wait to watch it when you're back. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we've had. I wish we would extend, but unfortunately time is up. Just as I said earlier on, each and every from Monday to Thursday, each and every week, from 7 a.m. to 7:30, there's a repeat of the reruns of The Business Coach, and every Tuesday from 9 p.m., watch the Instagram Live for The Business Coach. My name is Ian Dennis, and this has been The Business Coach, where we help entrepreneurs better their businesses.